You're tuned in and listening to Night Sounds on 1270 AM and 99.9 FM, KEDO, Longview, Washington, and KTHO, AM and FM, South Lake Tahoe. Welcome to the program. This is a nightly live talk program designed for the evening time. My name is Barry Funkhauser from Camarillo, California, and with me, as always, is in Sherman Oaks, it's Joe Walls.
Hey, how you doing?
And in San Antonio, Texas, where the buffalo roam.
Buffalo? Are you sure?
It's Josh Sanchez.
Hey, what's going on? Key thing to remember, there are no buffalo in Texas. There are some longhorns, and I think we should all just relax, have a good time. I'm ready to rock and roll like Joe and Barry. Let's do this thing,
man. And longhorns are delicious, by the way.
I love them. Delicious. Very lean. Very lean.
Already tuned out all of the vegans. That's okay.
So wait, we're on $9.99 now? Because it's like way more than we're worth. I'm telling you.
I've been in radio. I've been in radio 25 years. I've never called it $9.99.
Yeah, that's great. Well, congratulations.
It's like you suddenly started working for a grocery store, and you're like, "This is the $9.99 area. I don't know what's going on."
It does feel like that, but we are going to cover a lot of interesting topics tonight. Let's start off the show talking about something that I forgot to do, because I did take a little siesta before we start the program to get all of my energy going. And usually I have a cup of Joe alongside me, and I didn't do it this time.
I feel violated now. Don't have a cup of me. I have my cup. Hey, did you see? I even have my fun coffee mug here. Because I do what I want. I do what I want. I do it here. That's a better view. I do what I want. It's cat.
This is a video show as well as radio, so we will be holding things in front of cameras. You won't see that on the radio, but you can do it in your mind. Imagine.
Ooh.
So,
Barry, tell me about coffee.
There was a recent study that came out that revealed that everyday pleasures like music and coffee can significantly enhance cognitive performance. See, you can already
not have your coffee, so
that I did not have any. Yes. It says here, utilizing groundbreaking brain monitoring technology, this study examined brain activity during the cognitive tests under various stimulants, including music, coffee, and perfume, and results indicated that beta band brainwave activity linked to peak cognitive performance is what's important here. So they say music and coffee may boost brain power, and I am a believer. Do you guys believe that?
Joe, kick this baby off. I know you got some stuff I can see as you're chugging down that cup of Joe. I know you got something to kick us off here.
Oh, it is delicious. No, this is why I am the smartest person in every room I go into.
Because you're covered in coffee?
Yeah, because I'm covered in coffee. No, because I drink a lot of coffee. My wife actually drinks way more than I do. I think that this is good. I think it is, one, music is just like such a stress reliever that, like I always wake up in the morning and music is calling me, so I'm always calling out to my Oh, dang it! I just said her name.
My
Alexa, and I'm always asking for music. So it gets me going in the morning. It gets my brain going. I like that.
For me, I always felt that I've worked besides radio, before doing a lot of other work, working customer service, working grocery stores, kind of working a lot of numerous jobs. What I've discovered over the years is that I always thought it was one of these things that people just used as an excuse. They say, "Oh my God, I've got to have this cup of Joe. This cup of Joe's going to get me going." And I always thought, okay, whatever, it is what it is. And then, of course, I followed the sheep. I suddenly started thinking to myself, well, what is it with this cup of Joe? Then suddenly I started discovering what coffee can bring to me. Then I started discovering different kinds of coffees and different brands and different types of caffeine. And then all of a sudden, of course, me being the music lover that I am, I started combining the two, right? You have a great cup of coffee, you have great music, and all of a sudden you're just so hyped and ready to go. So I absolutely have to say, yeah, I agree with this. It can work.
All right, well, let me show you one more video and give you some more intel on all these studies that are coming out talking about coffee making you smarter and making you live longer. Here,
Make me smarter. Make me smarter.
We'll try. Here, listen to this.
Well, this was the culmination of a lot of research that's been done on coffee, where we seem to always be looking for something that's wrong with coffee or bad with coffee. These investigators looked at a very large sample size, and what they concluded was actually the coffee was associated with better health outcomes, that this benefits seemed to be independent of caffeine because it didn't matter whether people consumed regular coffee or decaffeinated coffee. And it didn't seem to matter whether they actually metabolized the caffeine fast or slow. I hope this does not give everyone a license to binge on coffee. First of all, one of the most important things is to think about what you put in the coffee. And coffee itself seems to be good. It certainly doesn't seem to be bad. However, if you put a lot of cream or a lot of sugar in it, then that's going to most likely negate the effects. I'd say the recommendations really don't change all that much. I think recently, including the most recent dietary guidelines for Americans, the recommendation is that if you enjoy drinking coffee, just as long as you don't add a lot of sugar and cream, then you can enjoy it. I don't think this study is giving us an absolute number of what is the best. I don't think we do know the number for what is the best number of servings, but we know that within normal limits, as with something like fruits and vegetables, that if you enjoy it, you might as well do so. Now, is this study causing sort of buzz or interest? I think that's because we always had this feeling, and some of it comes from very early literature where there was confounding, that coffee may not be good for us. However, that doesn't seem to be the case, and people enjoy it, and we shouldn't feel guilty about enjoying it and actually do so when we like.
Okay.
Yeah,
first and foremost, what kind of crazy person just drinks coffee black with no cream, no sugar? That is a psycho.
I know someone like that.
I know
someone like that. His name is Jeff Kopis, and he drinks literally 80 ounces of coffee a day, black, every single day. It's insane.
I am curious, what kind of coffee are you actually brewing up? What's the brand? What are you doing?
Me personally?
Yes, you're Joe.
Yeah, we kind of rotate through some stuff. We really like this one Hawaiian hazelnut from Don Francisco. That's a pretty good one. There is a vanilla macadamia nut coffee from a Hawaiian coffee company that we really, really enjoy.
He likes his Hawaiian stuff, man. He likes it so much.
Man, I like Hawaii.
He's headed in that direction in like a week. So he's
less than a week, man. I'm counting down. I got like 4 days to go.
Yeah, that seems interesting to me, where I'm the opposite guy. I love a good coffee. I do the slow brew. It is what it is. But I like a little sugar and I like a little cream. I don't try to overdo it. But at the same time, I'm kind of like you, Joe, right? Like, if I just wanted to truly be one of these coffee snobs where I'm like, I truly enjoy the taste of it, then yeah, I can drink it black. I've been to enough coffee festivals to be able to do that. But throughout the day, I also don't want to turn into Spider-Man and start hopping on the wall. So I do a little sugar. Absolutely. I do a little cream, and I try to do that. Hawaiian kind of surprises me. What the hell are you paying for that, especially with everything going on?
Oh, they're not that expensive. We do like mostly like the drip at home. So I mean, because I'm cheap. So it's like I'm getting like a bag of coffee for like $8.
$8?
Yeah, that's about
$8 gives you what, 20 pots of coffee or something?
That's
It's
pumpkin spice too. That's how much it costs these days. $6.50,
Oh,
$7.50.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Oh, well.
Texas
Speaking of coffee, what's your favorite coffee chain? Because everybody has like one. Are you a Starbucks hater? Are you?
No, I love my Starbucks, but here in Texas, there's a rather large group, grocery group that does some really spectacular coffee. It's called HEB. I do their blend. Every city, they kind of grind a certain bean per town that
Oh, that's
kind
cool.
of, does it. So I kind of do my own city in San Antonio. I do Guatemala. I do Nicaragua as well. But San Antonio I do because I only pay $6.59 for the Keurigs for 12 of them. So it's not bad. It's good. But I cheat, dude, right? Like I do a little sugar, I do a little cream just to get that boost. But Joe, here we go. Joe and Barry, I'm curious because we got to wrap up here in 5 minutes for the next break. I am curious from a musical standpoint, because that was Barry's initial thing. What are you matching with that, right? Like you compare a good meal with a good wine. You compare a good coffee with a good breakfast. But if we're doing music, I'm curious, what are you listening to on the road or everywhere else? What are you doing? What are you listening to?
Go for it, B.
Okay, well, I'll start then because that's an easy one for me. I got that new Gorillaz to some Tame Impala,
Okay.
some really wild indie rock. That's what I'm listening to. The mellow stuff, the stuff like MGMT, the things that sound like they were made on computers.
Okay. So you're microdosing is what I'm hearing. You're listening to that because I know if you're not putting sugar and cream, you're microdosing. You're listening to that.
Well, I think for me, it's the coffee, but it also depends on the weather outside. I don't know, that really kind of affects the music I listen to. If it's kind of like rainy and stuff, I tend to wake up pretty early when the sun's rising, so it's kind of dark out. I'll throw the curtains open and I'll have the coffee brewing. And if it's like a little drizzly, Riders on the Storm from The Doors goes on. I drink my coffee real slow and pretend like it's the late 60s and Jim Morrison's walking down the street in the rain. But a lot of times it's like, I don't know, it's like Lovely Day from Bill Withers or like some Motown or some funky stuff. I'm a big fan of the Barbie movie, so sometimes I'll throw on like Lizzo or whatever. It's just however I'm feeling that morning. And like the weather tends to be a big influence. So if it's like cloudy and gray out, then I'm listening to depressing music.
Joe's very sensitive to the weather and the time of day, and yeah, he claims that he's not, but he is.
Oh, I totally.
I'm absolutely convinced that my iPhone is listening to me because it somehow knows that it's either super sunny, so it starts off with something super aggressive, a band called Middle Class Run, some Metallica, some Tool, but then all of a sudden, it suddenly knows if it's very dim, I'm listening to Radiohead, I'm listening to Smile, I'm listening to Manchester Orchestra. I'm like, how do you know that it's cloudy and I'm driving and it's very somber? How do you know that? So honestly, I have to say Apple is apparently reading my weather and understands what I'm listening to, and so far so good. It was I do enjoy a pretty good eclectic mix of whatever the weather has to offer. So yeah, I'm kind of with Joe, but I blame Apple for listening to me.